Good afternoon, our viewers at home. Welcome again this week to another insightful episode of Insights from Eximeters Legal. I remain your host, Esther. We've been dealing with a series which we started 2 weeks ago in the light of business and the law. And today we'll be discussing a very important aspect of business when it comes to the legal requirements of trademark and patent registration. Basically, if you are into certain kind of business and you want to protect either your invention or you want to protect your logo or maybe a particular name or symbol for your business, there is the need to register the trademark or register the patent design. So entrepreneurs normally, yes, definitely they invest time, money and energy into their work. And naturally, they want to protect, that time they've invested, that energy they invested, so that it's not infringed on by somebody else and there's no copyright infringement. So the aspect of trademark and design is actually a module under intellectual property law, which is an aspect of commercial law as well as it relates to businesses. So today we'll be discussing trademark and patent registration in Nigeria. So let's see what is trademark and let's see what a patent is. Ideally in Nigeria, trademark is normally and usually regulated by the Trademarks Act, Law of Federation of Nigeria, 1990. And it's very important because it's basically to protect and distinguish somebody's trade symbol, or trademark, as the word puts it, from being infringed on by another competitor in the same market. So, and it could be a subject of litigation if a trademark is being infringed on, when especially it's being registered. So registering a trademark in Nigeria gives the business or the business owner or the entity, that protected right, to be protected from other competitors' infringement in the, in the market. So trademark is a recognizable name or design legally registered and used to identify and distinguish a product or service from others. So let's say a company that makes shoes have a particular design. I'll use Nike for instance. We know the Nike logo. That's Nike's trademark. Is like a right, but that is the trademark. And if another organization, another company that makes shoes uses that same logo, they've infringed on Nike's trademark. And definitely Nike can sue, such brand for infringing on its logo. So it's always good for businesses, especially if they want to be distinguished, they want their brand to be distinguished, to trademark their design, their logo. And this is not so difficult to do, if one has the right legal advice. So normally it's always important, that most of the time there are trademark consultants, most of the time they are lawyers, though there are some that could be trained in intellectual property, for registration of designs, but most of the time, because the issue of trademark, copyrights, patents are under intellectual property law, most of the times there are lawyers that are specialized in that aspect. And it's actually a big aspect of law, not only in Nigeria, but in various parts of the world. So the ministry that regulates trademark in Nigeria is the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment, and there's a registry called the Trademarks, Patent and Design Registry. The Commercial Law Department of, the Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investments deals with the registration. So you can trademark your name, your business name or company name, your slogan, your shape, the logo of your company, different things. And we're still going to also discuss patents, because patent is actually different in a sense from trademarks. So trademark, you have an existing business. It's not necessarily a new invention. You want to make sure you protect your logo. You want to protect the particular name, maybe the peculiar name, and you don't want somebody else to use that name. You can actually trademark it, and it gives you, the business or the entity, the owner of that right, after it's been given, it gives the person the exclusive right to that trademarked name or logo, such that if anybody else copies it, then they'll be in violation, and such can be sued. However, if a third party goes to the original owner of the trademark and gets the consent to use, then definitely that will not be an infringement. But once it's registered, then it's a duty behoves on every other person or business or entity in the marketplace to ensure that they don't infringe or copy such a trademark being registered. So as it is, there are ways in Nigeria that trademark is being registered. There are basically certain stages that it goes through. First, there is always a search that is being done at the Trademarks and Patents Registry. Because it's very important, you need to search. It's like as you search the company name, as we explained in previous session, as you search the company name to reserve the name to be sure that nobody else has that name that you want to use for your company. So also, you have to ensure that you search, for similar trademarks, similar names, similar logos, in the Registry of Trademarks, Patents and Design, because this is important to do, because if there is a similar logo like you want to use, or a similar name like the one you want to trademark that has been trademarked before, the registry will not accept the application. So the first step is actually the person who desires, or the entity that desires registration of their trademark, will brief their lawyer, or whatever agents they want to use, the consultant, the trademark consultant, and they will definitely go and search at the trademark registry to be sure that that symbol or logo or design is actually available to be registered and is not being used up by somebody else. So after a search is conducted and it is sure that there is no other logo or symbol that is in conflict with what you want to register, then the application back can be granted. However, there are stages. Like in Nigeria, if you put in your application, the registry will put that application inside what we call the Trademarks Journal, and they advertise it and say, oh, this person, this entity, they've put in their notice of application, and that notice of application is published in that Trademark Journal, and it's left there for about 2 months. So if anybody has any opposition to that trademark, then they come forward and come to the registry or write to the registry to say, no, I have a similar logo, I have a similar symbol, and they can oppose it. However, if the opposition doesn't go through and the application is successful, a certificate of trademark is issued, to the applicant. And this is very, very important, because that certificate gives the owner of the trademark the exclusive right to such logo or symbol. And as it is in Nigeria, really, there's a period of 7 years, for which that certificate is eligible. It's that's the period in which, before you can renew, you have that trademark, you have that exclusive right, to the trademark, a registered trademark item, or that name or symbol or shape or whatever you have registered, and you've been issued the certificate. You have it for a period of 7 years. Then afterwards, you can apply for a renewal, for another 14 years. So that's very important. And we've seen in practice where people actually apply, to register a design, maybe a manufacturing concern most of the time, it's always very important for manufacturing concerns to register their designs, especially if they manufacture, certain peculiar items. And we've seen, especially in plastic industries in Nigeria, a lot of cases, litigation ensuing as a result of infringement on somebody's design. A bucket comes out, it looks similar to another company's bucket. If you don't register your design even before production, then it's liable to being copied. That design is liable to being copied, and such a manufacturing outfit or an entity will not be able to sue or claim infringement, even if after it had brought it to the market, it went to register. There had been a practical case, that a company makes a certain item. However, it puts that item in the market before registering. So the item had been in the market, it's been on sale, people have been buying, for years. Maybe, I think for a period of about 2, 3, 4 years. Then afterwards, he wakes up one day like, oh yeah, I need to protect this design. This item is selling in the market. I don't want another company to copy it. So he went to register, at the registry, However, like a year down the line, another company registered the same design. And they are both in the same line of business, in the same sector, in the industry. And they went to court. But it was actually an issue of the product was not first in time. The registration was not first in time. Yes, the company went to register eventually. Nobody had registered the design before, but the design had been in the market. And there had been case laws, in Nigeria that have affirmed the fact that your product had been in the market before you registered it. If somebody else copies it, you don't have a right to lay claim on infringement because you've already put it in the public eye. So somebody else could even have gone to register before you. And even if they don't register and they copied it and used it, you don't have a right even after you have registered. So it's very important, especially for manufacturing businesses, even before you start producing, before you put your molds out there, or even at the point of designing, even the mold to use, maybe for your production and all that, before you even get the molds shipped to you, it's always very important in practice to make sure you register that design so that it's not copied and it's not eventually a subject of litigation. So that's very, very important. So the basic requirements really for trademark registration in Nigeria is very simple. It's not so difficult. The major thing is to ensure that after the search, you immediately, go and make sure that the registration is done and is done neatly, not done under the table. So the logo, the words, the name, the device, the symbol you want to register, the name of the applicant, whether if it's an individual or business name or a company, a limited liability company, anybody can trademark their item. So the contact details of the applicants and the power of attorney, giving your agent or your lawyer, the right to make such application on your behalf, conduct the registration on your behalf. Yes, there are costs to trademarks in Nigeria, and as it is, there are different factors that affirms for how much you can get to register or trademark your item. So it will depend on, okay, is it a local company, is it a foreign company operating in Nigeria, and the size of the company and all that. So we cannot really sacrosanctly say, okay, this is the particular amount that you're going to pay, as it is. But there are various factors that determine it, at the trademark registry. So definitely there are costs involved, and also you have to pay your lawyer or the agent that is registering the design for you. So like we had mentioned earlier, the trademark lasts for a period of 7 years, trademark registration in Nigeria. And you can, however, go to register after expiration, of the first 7 years, and you have to register. So every subsequent registration will last for 14 years, and when you want to register or renew, rather, when you want to renew the trademark, you have to bring the trademark certificate that you were issued, at first, the power of attorney, appointing either your lawyer or the agent, the consultant to register, and you also pay the requisite fees. It's worthy of note, that you cannot say because you've registered your design or you've registered your symbol or logo or name in the first 7 years, and in the 8th year or the 9th year, you refuse to renew. Somebody else, if you register the same thing, it might not be an infringement. So you cannot just sleep on your rights. It's very, very important to make sure that if you are registering your trademark and it's been registered, you follow through on subsequent renewals, as long as you want the name, the logo, or the symbol, or the design protected. So yes, when it comes to the assignments of trademark, you can assign your trademark or your logo to another entity, maybe for a particular period, but there are also processes, under the trademark law, to do this. So if a trademark title holder, assigns such a trademark or such design registration to somebody else or to another entity to use for a period of time, such assignee has to register that assignment. It's like in land law, you have to make sure that you also go and register your interest. So, for instance, when it comes to, I think we had discussed sometimes ago on this platform about mortgages and mortgage, or, if the bank holds a lien on a property that is being used to collect a loan, the bank goes to the land registry to register his assignment. So it's the same thing, with issues of trademark. There are assignments of trademark, and once it's assigned, the assignee has to ensure that he also goes to register the assignment so nobody else copies it, and if it's copied, then the assignee, for that period of time, is the legal title holder as long as he has assigned, and he can sue, anybody that infringes on the copyright of, the trademark. So it's also very important to do that. And of course, the same process would follow in terms of registering assignments of the trademark at the Trademark Registry. The trademark certificate is given, the deed of assignment that has been issued. So it's like, the way it is in land. When you want to assign a trademark, the original title holder will sign a deed of assignment to the assignee, to ensure that for this period of time, I am assigning this trademark to you. So it does happen in practice, and we've seen this also in practice, and entities go to register their assignments at the Trademark Registry. So the power of attorney appointing the agent or the lawyer that is going to help with the registration, as well as payment of prescribed fee, is also part of the requirements for registration of assigned trademark. So assignment of trademark. So we've explained two different things. The original title holder is the one that gets the initial trademark for that product or for that item, for that design. However, he could assign his interest in that trademark for a period of time to another entity, but the entity has to ensure to do things properly by going to register his assignment at the Trademark Registry to protect, that logo in its own name for that period of time. So under the Trademarks Act, there are classes of trademark, and we have different classes. Currently, the trademarks registration is classified into 45 classes. So there are quite a lot. There are different things that could be trademark. Different goods, services could be trademarked. So we have things ranging from medical services, chemicals, paints, bleaching preparations, industrial oils, plastics, pharmaceuticals. So there are different things that you could trademark. So a variety of businesses are covered here, and a lot of times people get their logos or symbols published because of lack of because of ignorance, lack of knowledge, of knowing that they could register, their interest in their logo. Especially even if you coin a particular name, you can choose to go and trademark it. There's no law against it, as long as nobody else is using it, and it becomes peculiar to you. And there are advantages, for trademarking, because at least it's a symbol, it is your own, and it's the brand of your business, and it's always very important to protect the brand of your business as an entrepreneur or as a business person. So the classes of trademark in Nigeria has actually been made, for goods and services in accordance with the international system of classification. So it's something that is acceptable, worldwide. So we have different ranges of items, goods, services that could be trademarked. You can trademark cards, cardboards, goods made from woods, precious metals, leathers, shoes, vehicles, non-metallic building materials. You different classes. So you have like class 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 up to class 45, textiles, ropes, different things. So insurance, financials, legal services, consulting, so many areas of goods and services can actually be trademarked. So when you have your agent or trademark consultant, your lawyer that wants to help you out with this, they are versed, in these things, and they can advise each business on which class of trademark is actually peculiar to them. So having discussed trademarks, we want to go into patent registration. What is patents? We discover that at times companies have novel innovation. When we say novel innovation, something that has not been done before, a new invention. So patents most of the time covers new inventions. It covers new inventions. It covers things that maybe something in the technology that had not been done before, and you want to protect that invention. So patent protects new inventions. For instance, patents can be obtained, for new chemical composition. Somebody brings out a latest drug, let's say for COVID-19, for instance, and it hasn't been done before. It's different from the Pfizer one or the AstraZeneca one, and it just brings this out. They have a right to patent it. Even I want to believe that even the Pfizer COVID-19 drugs and the jabs must have actually been patented, by the international companies that formulated those drugs. So it's very, very important. Pharmaceuticals, antibodies that are made by pharmaceutical companies, machineries, electronics that have not been done before, new inventions, they are covered under patents. So in Nigeria, patent registration also has its own process, still done by the Trademark Patent and Design Registry. So a patent is an authority or license conferring a right or title on an inventor. So it has to do with inventions mostly. So it confers that right on the inventor for a set period of time, especially the right to exclude others from using, making, or selling such an invention for that period of time. So that's why at times a lot of people, they protect their formulas. You can patent your formulas if it's new. It hasn't been done before. It's actually allowed to be patented. So patents protect new inventions, new processes, new machines, new chemicals, and these things are very, very viable, especially for business. A lot of times businesses die, new inventions die because people copy, the inventions and they dilute it. So the moment you know that, yes, you have a novel area, a greenfield area, it's very, very important to ensure that you follow through with the patent process. So the patent registration is handled also by the Federal Ministry of Industry and Trade and Investments. The Registry of Trademarks under that ministry handles the patent registrations, in Nigeria. So registration of patents will require that an applicant have invented certain ideas. Even ideas could be patented, inventions, different things can be patented, as long as it's new. So your ideas, your inventions, your recordings, even sounds can be patented. So we should not be ignorant of these things. So they are protected not just by a mere expression of it. So there's a way is being protected. So patenting an invention will give the holder, like we said, the right to challenge any unauthorized invention by a third party. So if a third party comes and wants to infringe, like somebody copies somebody else's song, we've seen that severally happen, whether in Nigeria or in other climates. People copying each other's song. You have a right to go and sue, as long as that song has been copyrighted or patented, as long as it's new. So you find a situation where people even go to seek the permission of somebody else when they want to use their song, so as not to be in breach of intellectual property rights. So the cost of patenting in Nigeria also depends on the individual patent, the attorney's work, and the prescribed fee, under the Trademark and Patents Act. So it's very, very important to note. So it's important to mention here that there are several benefits, that accrue, as we've mentioned before, to trademark and patenting, whether in Nigeria or anywhere in the world. Your brand, as long as it's trademarked, and it's protected. So, and brand is an image of your business. So it's always very important to ensure that the brand is protected, and it can be protected by registering, the trademark. The identity protection of the business, or the new invention from any infringement is another advantage. So also the owner of the trademark can sell the trademark, like we saw in the case of assigning the trademark. You can list the trademark out for a period and get money for it. It's also another form of business, for those who have, that business sense. Maybe he just trademarked the thing, he's not using it for a while, and he sells it to somebody to use, or he lists it out for a period of time to another person, to another organization, as long as it might be that the owner wants to use it eventually in the future, or just trademarked it and he just, I'm not really interested in using it again, I'd rather sell it. It's allowed, So that's an advantage. It could also be a revenue stream, depending on the way you look at it. So it's also possible for the owner of the trademark to allow, like we said, certain organizations or other entities or other individuals to make use of their trademark. So once you require a trademark service, or it's always important, or you want to register your patent, your design, it's always important to engage the services of a lawyer that is versed in intellectual property, or a consultant that is very versatile in intellectual property matters, because at the end of the day, the pros and cons, are there. However, the pros, outweighs the cons, and is always very good for your business image to ensure that the ideas you have, the novel ideas you have, the brands you have, the witty invention you have, the ideas you have for your business is not copied by somebody else. So we've seen today, the registration of trademarks and patents in Nigeria, and as we've been discussing in this series, business and law, this is a very important aspect, of business, when it comes to the law of intellectual property. So it's not just enough to register your business at the Corporate Affairs Commission and say, yes, I'm leaving it there, I'm filing my annual returns, no problem, I'm leaving it there. But what about, protecting your brand? What about protecting your invention? So we believe today we've been able to do justice, as it were, to trademark and patent registration in brief, as it obtains in Nigeria. So until we come your way again in the next episode, say stay safe and be blessed. Thank you.